Yeah, it's amazing. Like, I mean, you know that Bombay has so many films happening here, and but yet when I entered this room to see that love, that smiles on your face, and the excitement to take pictures and videos, that's really, I mean, something that I'm not going to forget. It's really memorable to think that you guys take cinema so seriously. Thank you for accepting us here, and thank you for your lovely introductions. I mean, always whenever you do this, I always think, do I really deserve this? I feel very humbled by all this. Every time you speak, it's so very beautiful. The way you exude so much of confidence in our product, like it's your very own, which it is actually at the moment. Thank you so much for that. Every single time I have from PS before, and I just want to thank my cast and crew, especially my director Ranjith, for giving me such a fantastic role. I wouldn't call it a role, I would just call it like another identity of mine, which he helped me discover. And I'm so glad I discovered Thangalaan. And I'm so glad that I discovered with somebody as beautiful and as passionate about my work as she is about hers. And we really discovered our roles in this as Thangalaan and Gangama. See, it became Gangama, Thangama. Wow! It couldn't get closer than that. But I couldn't have done this. All the scenes, you would, when you see the film, you'll enjoy the romance between us. We are happily married with 5 children. The eldest is about like 22. He's capable of getting married and having children of his own. The youngest is about 3, but we still are in love, very much in love, and whatever the scenes we have together, I mean, I couldn't have done it with anybody but you, Parvathy. Thank you for being my Gangama and for being that beautiful buffer for my soul in this movie. And Ranjith, I love him for this role. I've done some remarkable roles in my career, but Thangalaan is super special to me. And it's something that I'm always going to remember, and I think I'm going to show it to my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren with a lot of love, if I'm still around then. But it's a very special film, and you're going to love this film because it's got wonderful performances. Like Parvathy was saying, Malavika is so ferocious. You will see her in an avatar, which I think is very rare on Indian cinema and screens. And Pasupati and Hari and Preeti and Ashokan, and everybody is a performer in this movie. And all of us felt that this was more than a movie. It was all like pieces of our souls just coming together in one creation, and we just gave it our all. And you could see it in, I think, in everything. There are making videos too, where you'll see the turmoils we went through and the rigors we have put through. And it was really tough. It was very difficult essaying our roles and trying to bring this to life. It's a film about adventure, about fantasy, about magical realism. It's got magic in it, and but it's also real. He's trying to make us look in through that window into another era and to actually witness something. I mean, I'm sure if there are history books which can have this, I'm sure they would identify with the costumes, the weapons we use, the materials we use. He's tried to be as authentic as possible. A lot of research has gone into it, but at the same time, he's got a very poignant message that he wants to deliver, which has not been the prime focus of the movie. He's made a very entertaining film, a very captivating film, but with a message which I'm sure all of us in the present times will identify with. Thank you, Ranjith, for that effort, and we are so happy that we were also part of that in like very powerful voice that he possesses. And thanks a lot for being so patient and listening to my ramble, if it was it. Thank you very much.
You did not talk about yourself. Talk to us about yourself. And every day when you look into the mirror, as I said, do you like challenge yourself? Or that challenge is that one thing that's the sole motive behind signing on the dotted line or something?
Yeah, it's actually the money, but no, I'm kidding. It's not that. I mean, I've done films for free too. When I was less ambitious, till my wife called me up one day and said, "Hey, we need food on the table." So it's changed after that. But I love acting from when I was a kid. From my 3rd grade, I've been only wanting to act. I wouldn't even study, and I've been beaten blue black because all I could imagine was this guy walking on a street and people calling him and saying, "Hey, can you sign a picture in an autograph, or can we have a picture with you?" That's always been my dream. Cinema has always been my passion, my dream, and every time I do a role, I try to do something that's very far from me, and I think Thangalaan is just another repercussion of that want. It's the want to work on great characters with great directors like Ranjith. All my directors have inspired me through all my characters. Work with great technicians and artists like Parvathy, Malavika, Daniel, Pasupati. We've had such wonderful. I've had a really nice travel through cinema, and this again will be like one of my very special films. And yeah, the role, I think when you see the film, you will A lot of people in the South have identified with what we went through, and they've all loved the performances. So it is very flattering, and like I said earlier, very humbling when we hear such great stuff about us and about the movie. And I'd like to take this opportunity on this stage to thank all the people who have watched the film till now in all languages and made it what it is. It's very difficult for a film like this to reach a wide audience like that. And thanks to my producer Nyanavel and Ranjith for such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much. I was telling someone earlier today, and you keep taking boxes that this is the role I want to do, this is what I want to do in a role, I want an introduction fight. Like in PS1, I want that introduction on a horse with my hair flying, a competition with the mane of the horse, it's as glorious as that, stuff like that, or you have an introduction fight and then you have these dialogues and blah, blah, blah. But the first tick is always like, how am I going to look? And I think the loincloth, the langot, is it langot in Hindi? Yeah, but it's like a thong actually, it's a loincloth. But that would be the first box that you need to tick before you move on, and I'm sure most people would balk at it or be a little apprehensive about it. But I was seeing the role more than that, and finally when I did, it was a huge step for me. The first day, of course, all of us were a little shy and we kept doing that until we noticed that everybody was actually dressed the same way, and then it became very cool to a point that when Ranjith and all of them used to be in shorts and glares, and of course they were very stylish, blah blah. But apart from that, if an outsider came into the location, we used to laugh at them because they'd be in branded clothes and glares, and they'd be like shielded from the sun, and we all look at them very funnily. Why are they so overdressed? I mean, poor people. We actually looked at them like that, and I'm not even joking. It's not that it's about that or it's liberating or whatever. It's something so beautiful. I mean, just being. I mean, it was like in the purest form, going back in time and all that. And I loved the way I looked, and I really miss not being in that right now. Because I realized that I can't look like a hero. I should look like a normal. I should be like a laborer. I'm actually part of the oppressed. So I had to be someone who just barely had a square meal a day. And you know that they're all very light and very wiry. I needed to be like that, so I had to shrink a little. But apart from that, it was like we had a lot of makeup done, like almost 5 hours every day. I had to remove my tattoo, then put on fresh tattoos. I have a scar which I had to hide, add scars, and all of that took time. Then we had the blood, and we had mud and ash and gold in every scene. There's no scene where we look nice, as in that looks very nice, but like I would say look normal. But the transformation apart from that was, I spoke to Ranjith a lot. We had a lot of back and forth where I had to discover this person, this Thangalaan. Where is he from? What is his community? What does he stand for? I mean, he's a leader, so sometimes I used to feel that he had bravado and I used to be strong, and he would come and tell me, no, actually he's very vulnerable. He's not always strong. With his wife he's different, with his children he's different. So he was doing a different role with everybody in the community. So through the travel I had Ranjith to always guide me, and we went about this thinking that we needed to have, I have been doing different performances, but we felt that this should be very unique when compared to other films. So we did a lot of internalizing. I did a lot of that before the movie started, and initially took me about 3 days to get into it. Then after that, all Ranjith had to do was just tell the scene, and I would be doing exactly what he wanted. We were in total sync, and I think it's very liberating and very inspiring to have that kind of an understanding with the director, where you know that what you're doing is what he wants, and he knows that what he wants is what I'm going to do, even if he doesn't know what I'm going to do, So when he sees it in front, he says, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe I couldn't articulate it. And I've had such a wonderful relationship with you, Ranjith, with regard to that. And everything you see here, I mean, all of it was inspired by this gentleman who sits so quietly and calmly, twirling his moustache, looking very cool and deep. Yeah. There is no grammar in this movie. There's no interval block, flight, or introduction song or fight. Everything just goes through a particular graph that's played only, and music that's playing only in his head. So he's still in that zone. Like even now when I'm talking, he's saying, I'm tripping, I'm there. He's not come back from KGF. God bless him.
No.
Only everything.
So simple. No. Thank you for that question. There was not a single day that was not difficult. Every day I would we finish filming and I was like, oh, like the hard part's over, and the next day it's like another Everest is like right up there for us to climb. And it really kind of taught me something about, just persisting and like staying determined, because Ranjith is like that. Ranjith is like, his vision keeps, I feel like it keeps multiplying every single day. That's what I felt. Like one day we'll shoot, he'll be inspired by all the work for his own vision, but by the work that he's seeing, that he'll add more and more nuances. And like, you know, Thanga was saying, he trips on his own work as well. So it was challenging is an understatement, frankly. But it also did transform. When you do surrender to something like that, you can crib and cry and complain, and I did do all of that.